There's some incredible TV coming out of the UK right now. Brits just do it differently. The accents, the wit, the scenery, the devastating one-liners disguised as compliments. It's all streaming on BritBox. They have the best mysteries, dramas, comedies, and seriously addicting originals like Outrageous, based on the true story of the Mitford sisters. They were kind of like the Kardashians of the 1930s, wealthy, audacious, chaotic, wildly opinionated, and always making headlines. And chances are you've never heard their story. It's stunning. It's jaw-dropping. It's very British. So check out Outrageous. It could be your next favorite. Don't miss Outrageous, streaming now only on BritBox.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Let's Talk with Heather Dubrow starts now. Okay, well, today on my show, we're just jumping right in here. Because these girls are so hilarious. We know them, we love them. Tammin Sursok, Roxy Manning. One's an actress, producer, director, entrepreneur. Yeah. The other is a renowned celebrity interviewer. Together, they're the host of the Women on Top podcast.
Or the bottom of the side, or the other jingle.
Welcome. Yeah.
This won't be boring. Don't you worry, guys.
Because literally right before we start, Tammin's like, I love giving blowjobs. I'm like, that's how we're starting? Really?
It was in context.
It really wasn't in context.
I just randomly said it.
And when you become her close friend, these are the things that come out of her mouth.
Yeah, but it was just a random.
A wake up call in the morning. She's
No,
like,
it's
"Did
not.
you f your husband
No, I
last
didn't
night?"
say that. I never say that. I ask, did you get laid?
Yeah, she says it in a bit of a nicer way.
So do you think it's okay to talk about these things? And how old are your kids?
9 and 4.
And 8.
So they don't know how cringy you are yet.
Exactly.
And they never will.
And enjoy it.
I probably will stop.
They're
when they
starting
get
to get she's starting to kind of be like, Mom, I don't want you to come that close when you're dropping me off somewhere.
I'm getting that too. I'm getting the push away.
Yeah, the push away.
And I'm like,
right?
bitch, I made you. Get your ass. I know. I have to accept the fact that she might try to not pretend that she loves me. I need to go to therapy for it. I definitely do because I love my kid so much and I feel like she's part of my body and I have to let her go. But it feels like a loss. Mm-hmm. And every year, my 4-year-old, every year she gets older, I feel like I lost the child from the year before.
Really?
Yeah, because my baby's 4. She's not the 2-year-old and she's not going to be, in 2 years, she's not going to be the 4-year-old. And I feel like I'm losing her. I know. I could probably work on therapy with this whole thing and be like, it's great that they're growing up.
Do you feel that way too?
I do. I feel like she's becoming, because she's an only child, she's sort of inherently maybe a little more independent, in her nature, right?
Yeah.
She's also kind of an old soul. So she's very kind of grounded and very much like an observer. And I always have felt that she's a little bit wise beyond her years. But she really has lost a lot of that baby, the baby girl. And I'm like, don't you need me? Don't you need me?
Let's be real. You want to go out and be like, you're cool, right? You're cool to stay home. What age can we leave them at home?
Googling age I can leave my child
at
home.
What age will I not get arrested for my child looking after herself alone? She's like, I'm done.
Yeah, don't come after me, police.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I'm not like that, though. And it might be because, I have,
you got a lot
of those children.
Yeah.
But for me, I have always felt like once the age and stage is over, I'm good. I was present for it. I got it.
Right.
And especially with my last.
Right.
With him in general, specifically, when he was a baby, I was like, okay, this is my last one. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna smell it. I'm gonna taste it, and I'm gonna let it go.
Mm-hmm. But you had so many of those stages. I feel like I've only had 2 4-year-old stages. You had 4 4-year-old
Well, I guess
stages.
I had 3 because the first 2 are twins.
Oh, that is true. It was like a double.
You kind of combine those 2.
Yeah.
But I get it though.
And I want a third, but my husband doesn't. And so that's a question too about I want a third and I got to figure out, do I want a third because I want a third or do I want a third because it's like, if I don't have kids, then what? Like, my period's going to stop at some point. You know what I mean? And I know that women think about this. I know some don't, but they're like, okay, then what is for me, my body was, what's my role? I know I'm bigger than just having kids. I get that. But like, when my period's getting less and less and less, I'm like, I've only got a couple good eggs in there. Like, what are we going to do with them? And then is that it? Have I dried up? Like, is that like my body's done? Like, it's like, okay, we're done.
Also, you have to wonder about fulfillment. Like, is there something you still want to fulfill with having that third child?
Or is it escapism
You know what I mean?
and you want to hide in another kid? It's all of it.
Yeah.
It's
all of
honestly,
it.
like
Yeah.
my last one was a surprise. My first 3 were in vitro, and then the last one was au naturel. So we weren't intending
But
to
you were
have.
having sex.
Well,
With no protection.
but damn it.
I know.
No one told me that if you have sex, you have a
Get a
kid.
baby.
Some of us had
Yeah.
to pay a lot of money, go to
That's what
doctors.
everyone goes like, it was
get
a surprise. I was
petri
like,
dish.
but you're having sex while you're ovulating.
Well, I also feel like it was a dry spell, and to be honest, and so I really
like
don't
one shot.
know how
Yeah.
it all happened.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Interesting.
apparently it did.
So total surprise. I mean,
Total surprise. And I was 42. I mean, like, it was a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so I didn't, it wasn't like
Right.
purpose, but like, I'm so happy we
Right.
did. But my point was, like, I was right at the point with the 3 kids who were, you know, ages like 6, and 3.
Yeah, you're at a
where
good
I
stage.
felt like, I still look good. I've got my shit together. My kids are all, you know, potty trained, and I may be able to actually work again. That could be something fabulous. And then bam.
Yeah.
I was actually back like in pilot season that year. And I remember, and I got pregnant. I was like vomiting, and I could.
Oh, God. I remember mine was like, I was on set when I found out for the second one, and I would vomit between takes.
Oh.
And it was just so, and people don't talk about, because I actually had really good pregnancies, but that first couple months when you actually get like depression during pregnancy. I don't know
heard
if
of
you ever
that.
had that, but
I
for the
didn't,
first
but
3
I've
months
heard
I
it.
felt really depressed, and then the hormones kicked in and I felt great. But I had depression during the beginning of it.
During the beginning of it?
Yeah. But I've had body issues my whole life probably, so that's probably it too, you know?
That might have contributed.
Like, we all don't look like you.
I know.
Me?
I've seen you like
me?
naked.
Yes.
Well, not naked.
Oh my God.
She was showing me herself naked
No,
before we came in here.
Of course, we're good friends. I was just saying, I gained so much. All right, I gained weight when I had foot surgery. I gained weight in the
Foot
pandemic.
surgery,
I
'cause you
did.
couldn't move.
I had foot surgery. I couldn't work
You weren't
out
getting
for
your
5
steps
months.
in.
And then we just went to Europe.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
the
You have
struggle is
to.
real. I was just looking at my boobs in the monitor. My boobs look so big because.
They get bigger when you gain weight.
I mean, but gain weight where? I mean, you look amazing.
You said they're
You're very
real.
kind of you.
You said
They are real. Yes.
See, that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
They're like right up there.
and they didn't even sag with kids and
Well, you know, there's a bra on. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
You're not just free balling.
Right.
There they are.
There we go. Right around.
I was like, whoa, they're brookie.
yeah.
So what's going on with you with work? What are you doing?
Wow,
wild.
we have been this week especially has been fucking crazy. Like we,
Yeah, you were saying that. Why is it
12
so?
podcasts.
I know. Why
Yes.
so crazy this week?
But then also, I'm going to plug it, but my movie comes out. Your kids would love it.
Oh,
It's
what's
like
your movie?
Jawbreakers. It's called Blood, Sweat, and Cheers. Netflix bought it, but then they sold it to Tubi, which is great. It's free. So I tell people it's free. You have to watch. It's really dark. It's really
Okay.
funny, campy. It's about a mom who can't let go. It's typecasting. Can't let go of her child. But her child's 16. I had her when I was 15. The character did. And I just have felt invisible and couldn't, like, not seen my whole life. So I take on her identity. It's actually based on a true story. And I go back to her school and I become a cheerleader to go win the cheer competition. But some people get in the way and I murder them. And it's like, it's so great. It's such
Well,
like
don't give away the whole movie.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I didn't say like if I got murdered or like if I murdered my kid, but like things happen. But yeah, it's like it's Jawbreakers, like Wild Things, Election. Like,
Oh my God,
so
that's
you
so
can watch
exciting.
it. You should
Oh,
watch
we're
it on
gonna
the
watch
plane.
it.
Your
We're
kids
totally
will like
gonna.
it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you had to cheerlead.
I did.
Take
and
me through that. How hard was that? Were you a cheerleader?
No, I'm from Australia. Like, I never even had that experience. I was like a child actor in Australia and came here when I was like 21. So people are like so into cheerleading. I just don't, like, I can't even do a handstand.
Okay,
Like,
I was a cheerleader.
I bet you were.
No, wait a minute. For one season, because I am terrible. I can't do a split. I can't do a cartwheel.
No.
I can't do any.
just can't get back up.
Nothing. I could barely get up. But they liked me, so they made me an alternate, and I really just wanted the jacket.
Yeah.
came back to the fashion.
That was my experience.
Yeah, you're just like, I don't look good.
I had a jacket. It was cute. That was the end of that.
Yeah.
All right. So you had to learn how to cheerlead.
Well, because Tubi movies actually get made in you've done some of these movies. They get made in 15 days. So they got made in 3 weeks. And they asked me, could I dance before I did the show? I was like, yeah, I can do it. I was like,
this goes
I
back
can
to when we were.
I can skate. I can do whatever.
This goes back to the starting actor resumes
just
where you're
tick
like,
all the boxes. I can speak French,
horseback ride,
German,
speak Spanish,
conversational Spanish.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, as long as you can dance. I mean, I've done a dance movie before, but that was a lot of work, and we spent a month trying to learn how to dance. But I was like, sure, I can cheerlead. So they're like, great, you have to go. They gave me the role. You have to go blonde, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go blonde because I know dark hair of the color of hair as you.
Yeah.
I went blonde, and I knew it was gonna my whole hair is falling out because of it. But I was
But it
like,
looks pretty.
well, it's a little dry. but I thought to myself, I'm an actor. Who cares about my hair? But it's really
What? No wig?
No, they said no. They said you can't do the role, and so I was like, I'm not going to do the movie. And then I was like, you know what? What a loser if I am to not do it because of my
But why
hair.
wouldn't they let you wear a wig? Wigs are
Because
so
they
good.
wanted it to be I don't know, no wig. Okay, so we get on set and they're like, well, we're not going to do any dance rehearsals. We're just going to do it on the day. And I was like, fuck that. So after I did 16-hour days, afterwards I would go with a dance choreographer and go over the dance and over the dance and over the dance, and it looks passable. I wouldn't say don't watch the movie for the dancing. It's not really.
Now it's the
really
only
about
reason
the,
I'm watching
it's
the
only
movie.
the acting, and I'm supposed to be
I'm going
cringe.
to fast forward
No.
to the
I'm supposed to be cringy. I'm supposed to be oh my god, my mom's trying to dance. So that works well for me. But it's more about the psychological thriller than the cheerleader. But I do kick my leg. I'll show you. I have a picture of it, really pretty high. But I think that was just adrenaline.
Summer is for relaxation, and one way to bring that relaxation vibe into your home is with a koala sofa bed. Yes, they are finally available in the US. Koala makes the most comfortable sofa bed mattress ever. You guys know what it's like. You go stay at someone's house, they pull out the sofa bed, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I am going to have the worst night's sleep ever. Well, let me tell you something. If you get a koala sofa bed, you are never going to want to leave their house. As a matter of fact, you might want to think twice before getting this because your guests are never going to want to leave. Inspired by the Aussie Outback, Koala delivers Instagram-worthy color options, no sad beige, no millennial gray here, and there's no uncomfortable metal frames. Unlike traditional sofa beds, koalas are designed for pure comfort. No Allen wrenches, no stress, no tears. Everything comes in the box and easily slide, clicks, or screws together. No need for a guest room. Koala sofa bed comes in 3 sizes to fit smaller spaces. With no delivery or restocking fees, that's almost unheard of in the industry. Plus, you get a 120-night risk-free trial, nearly 4 months to make sure it's the perfect fit for your home. So upgrade your space with the most stylish, customizable, and elevated sofa bed available. To get $250 off your new sofa plus fast shipping, go to us.koala.com/Heather. That's us.koala, KOALA.com/Heather to get $250 off your new sofa. Koala, comfy, easy, sustainable.
Craving your next action-packed adventure? Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command, like Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, where a lone astronaut must save humanity from extinction, narrated with stunning intensity by Ray Porter. From electrifying suspense and daring quests to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms, unleash your adventurous side with gripping titles that'll keep you guessing. Discover exclusive Audible originals, hotly anticipated new releases, and must-listen bestsellers that hook you from the first minute. Because Audible knows there's no greater thrill than the one that speaks to you. Discover what lies beyond the edge of your seat. Start your free 30-day trial at audible.com/WonderyUS. That's audible.com/WonderyUS.
You know how we all have that one friend we go to with all our financial questions? I'm talking the one who gives you advice like no one else can. Well, meet Experian, your BFF. And by that I mean big financial friend. I'm telling you, Experian is going to be your go-to app when it comes to taking control of your finances. And this big financial friend is always there for you, just hanging out on your phone, where we all kind of are anyway. Experian has a bunch of legit ways to help you save. And get this, the Experian app lets you check your FICO score, matches you with credit cards, and a bunch more totally BFF kind of things to help you manage your finances. Bet your other BFFs can't do all that, huh? Anyway, it's easy to have this big financial friend by your side. Just download the Experian app and get started for free. Trust me, you'll be up to speed with this BFF in no time. Results will vary. Credit offers, approvals, and reward programs based on FICO Score 8 model and subject to lender terms. Offers not available in all states. See Experian.com for details.
If your dog could talk, they'd beg for Ollie. The full-body tail wag, the excited little hops, the big goofy grin, that's the Ollie effect. Ollie delivers clean, fresh nutrition in 5 drool-worthy flavors, even for the pickiest eaters. Made in U.S. kitchens with highest quality human-grade ingredients, Ollie's food contains no fillers, no preservatives, just real food. With 5 protein-packed recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh turkey with blueberries, even the pickiest eaters can't resist. You might think, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box.
She was like so like into it. Like when it was happening, when you were practicing, she was like calling me and she's like, oh my God, I have like fucking bruises like on my knees,
on my legs,
on my arms.
Yeah,
like,
I've like split my hamstring.
Like so many injuries, but you did it. You committed to it and you did it.
And then there was like a makeout scene. Then I think I told you that too.
Yeah.
But don't you kind of, let's be honest for a second.
Yeah.
Don't you kind of enjoy the makeout scenes?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't expecting how far he was going to like, normally you talk about it before. You're like, are you sticking tongue in or you're not sticking tongue in, whatever.
Right.
And it was like, no, we're just
There was no on-set what do you call that?
Intimacy person? I think there was. I can't remember because all of that went out the window. I'm like, okay, so we're touching my nipples. Okay, so we're there.
So that's in the script. I missed that.
That's in the script, and your tongue is licking my face. I was like, didn't know that was going to happen, but like you're in it, so you're like, I can't cut. Like how embarrassing it is. To, like,
I know,
cut.
but that is the culture that shouldn't be there.
Oh, I know. And most of my career has been fine, but I've had a few men like do sex scenes, and it's just a little too close, like to your inner.
But like,
groin.
what do like teenagers and young girls in their young 20s
when you're
do?
an actress?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. But Heather, did you get the tongue? Did you get slipped the tongue during some of these
What did you
on
slip?
set
What did you slip
love scenes, or did you slip the tongue?
No, I don't remember tongue. I'm trying to
Like,
think.
no, but I touched their penis.
Right. Is that a problem?
That's part of the scene.
First of all, I was a big sitcom person for many years, so I did a lot of sitcoms where that just doesn't happen.
Right.
But when I did hour-longs, I feel like there was not a lot of tongue. Maybe like wet kisses.
It is.
Like
It's just the
more
mouth.
like because especially in those years, tongues were for movies.
Yeah.
People really didn't do that on television.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dry humping.
A lot of dry humping.
A lot of dry humping and a lot of like kissing like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
It's
not,
and then you open
but
the
not
mouth.
with
It's
the-
so gross
Yeah.
and weird.
yeah.
But there's no tongue. It's just
So
it's like
gross.
that.
Yes.
So there was that, but there's not like booby touching and like that didn't happen. Things are much more advanced now in television. Not in my day.
Yeah.
And now I'm on reality and no one wants to see that.
But I always say, like, someone goes, like, well, do they get an erection when you have a sex scene? And you go, well, like, you don't want them to, but then you're offended kind of. That you, like, you don't want them to, but then if they don't, you're like, huh. like what's wrong with me?
I think the hottest sex scene I've done in recent years was I did a show called Sequestered for, what was Sequestered on? What was that called?
I love the producers, too, in every podcast.
I know,
They
they,
call
like,
them
have big-
out.
yeah.
We need to do that, but we'll just do it with
I just don't remember. Is that terrible?
Streaming on Crackle.
Crackle.
Yeah, remember Crackle?
Yes.
That was a long time ago.
It was like 6
years
years
ago?
ago, which is like 30
Oh
in
my gosh.
Hollywood years. But anyway, so there was the Crackle. And so I did this show, Sequestered, and I played like this. It was all about a jury.
Yeah.
So we were sequestered in this thing. And so I played this girl who turned out to be like a druggie and she was having sex with one of the other jurors or whatever. And so I had like this kind of hot sex scene with this guy. That was fun.
Did you have chemistry with him? Like, did you feel the chemistry?
I don't, with him, no, but I feel like at this point, I'm so old and I don't think about it like that anymore.
But do you feel? I feel like there's always like you either have it or you don't with your co-star,
Yes.
and like you have to make a choice of like, okay, I'm not going to be that person's friend, Right?
Yes.
Because been with probably like hundreds of, probably over the years. Like I've been doing this for like 25 years.
Yeah.
Like you think like so many guys like I've been around or whatever, and you have to make a choice if there's chemistry to be like, okay, that's not my friend. Mm-hmm. You know?
I mean, but you've done it so long, you can create chemistry with a tennis ball.
Well,
Right.
See what people
with Roxy.
now you're a tennis ball.
4 years with my ball and chain.
Yeah, people don't understand that too because you do movies, you do television shows, whatever, and they take wide coverage and then they go in for your close-ups, and sometimes your co-stars don't want to stand there when they're not on camera, and they literally.
That's an asshole move.
Oh, you've never. I've had that.
Oh, I try to.
Sequestered is on Netflix.
Slightly
Now,
different.
currently, if you want, it was on Crackle. But now, if you want to find Sequestered, you could see it on Netflix. And go watch my sex scene and see what you think.
I'll just fast forward. You just fast forward to the dancing. I'll just fast forward to your sex scene.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know what was weird for me, though, in that particular show? I was smoking.
Yeah.
Joints and cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so they had the fake cigarettes, which are so vile.
I hate them.
What do they taste like? Are they just
They
like...
taste like, if you think of have you ever smoked a clove cigarette?
Yes.
It's kind of like that, sweet, but even worse. It's really bad. And I used to smoke years ago, but I quit so long ago.
Yeah.
So I would never smoke a real cigarette, but it's kind of like you get sort of the experience without the fun.
Right.
And how did you quit smoking?
I got hypnotized.
Interesting.
Yeah, me and Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, really?
We went together.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I did that for flying, but I'm still shit my pants when I get up.
Really?
Yes.
What do you do? Do you take drugs?
Fucking wish I did. And I'm not drinking right now. I seem like a real fun.
Okay.
I seem like a real fun.
Yeah, you're
but
a fun
I used
time.
to drink on the plane.
Okay,
to
let's
get
talk
through
about
it.
this because clearly you're not on Ozempic. You weigh 2 pounds, and that's usually the
I was gonna ask you
international
about
sign.
Ozempic.
Right?
Yeah.
Not right now. No. Probably need some. Can you get?
Oh, please.
Do you have some
We're
in your
going to
bag?
talk about Ozempic with you. Yeah, let's talk about
I want to talk about Ozempic, but first we're going to talk about drinking.
Okay.
So give me your drinking vibe and what's going on right now. Roxy, go.
Okay, so for me, I'm a tequila girl.
Okay.
So I like just a glass of 1942 with a big ice cube
glass.
and it kind of melt tumbler.
Every day, twice a day, eight times a week.
I know I should. I should probably drink a little more. Recently, I've been trying to not drink so much during the week. Kind of be more of a weekend warrior with that. I find that I can get up much easier in the morning with having to get my daughter off to school and start work and everything. So I try not to do it during the week, but on the weekend, Friday at 5:00, I'm like, I am ready for my cocktail, and nothing can stop me. You know
what's bad for me about me is that I have such a high functioning liver that I can drink and I still get up early,
Same.
get the kids up, go to the gym. I can do it all, and that's dangerous though.
Yeah.
Oh, but no matter what kind of alcohol it is, because some kinds
How much?
slow me. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm not like someone who gets hungover.
Yeah.
Oh,
but look,
Like
I'm
Jamie.
not. I don't get sloppy.
Right.
But I can drink.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I've never been a big drinker, probably 3 a week always. I love wine, but I gave it up about 1.5 years ago because it just wasn't there was no purpose for it for me. I have anxiety. I've always had it, probably because of my own childhood issues and being a child actor and dealing with all that stuff. I don't suffer depression, but I noticed that I would drink and I would feel so much less anxious because my dopamine would raise and I'd feel so great and I'd have no social anxiety and I would love being there. And then within 30 minutes of each drink kind of wearing off, I'd start to get more of that anxiety because what happens is your dopamine levels lower than they were to begin with. So I'd have these constant bouts of panic attacks and anxiety and just so much more than I would when I wasn't drinking. And I was like, the idea of drinking and the amazing hour I have is not worth the 2 days that I – because so what would happen is I would drink on a Friday. I'd have 2. I'd feel shit on a Saturday. Probably have 1 on a Sunday. I'd feel shit on the Monday, Tuesday. And then I'd feel great Wednesday, Thursday. And then I would do it again. So I'd have 2 days a week where I felt clear-headed, had energy, felt less anxious, and then I would do it again. I'm like, why am I doing this? Now, will I ever not have – I don't have a problem with alcohol. Will I ever not drink again? I'll probably have a glass of wine at some point on my birthday in Italy. Totally. But I'm really proud of myself. It's now not a habit. It started to become an every Friday day thing because I was like, thank God, I'm super anxious. I can now have my drink.
Right.
And now I just don't feel that anxiety. I'm like, I feel good. I go to dinner with them and I've been to 5 dinners in LA and I haven't drank, and I've been just as happy and had just as great of a time. And I get home and I don't feel like shit.
That's good. And it's so smart to recognize how your body functions, how it feels. My thing is that, like I was saying, like I feel fine.
Right.
But then that's a problem because there's pros and cons. Like, you know, it's like coffee. Like every few years they go, coffee's so bad for you and no one should drink coffee.
And then they go,
oh, it's so good. You have to have coffee. And then they say you need alcohol for cardio protection. And and they're like, no. If you drink too much, your brain's going to go to shit. Like, it's really hard. But I would say for me, for the last, first of all, you know, doing the show that I do, there's a lot of drinking involved. And then, I mean, because I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
have a downfall.
And there's no downfall.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get to a spot where I thought, okay, I need to just like be more in control. Like I want to not drink during the week.
Try it. Right. You should try it for 21 days. Look at me. I'm like, try it. 21 days is a habit.
So this is what we did.
Yeah.
So we just came back from Europe and Terry and I are like, this is it.
We're not drinking ever again.
We are going to go. We're going to be clean because we gained some weight. We ate a lot. We enjoyed it all.
Which is great.
By the way, I don't care. I wait to see the photos. Wait to see the photo. I mean, I'm so proud of like talking about eating issues. I'm so proud of the way I ate. I ate everything I wanted to. And I ate like a human.
Right.
Like you know what? Except for one night, too much. But in general, I ate like a human. But we come home and we have a wedding to go to in St. Bart's in June. Yeah. So we go, okay, let's do this. Let's just be incredibly healthy for the next 7 weeks until we go to St. Bart's. Let's just let's not drink. Let's eat super clean.
It's like been 2 days.
Totally. You're like,
I got in my cup right now. I couldn't do it 24 hours. Yeah. But don't do the all or nothing.
I was good on Monday. Last night we were out. I definitely had a glass of champagne. No, but you want to know something? I literally usually I'd have much more.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, it didn't
need it.
No, it was fine. It was just like, I enjoyed it. I sipped a little bit. There may have been a splash in the glass at the end of the meal. Like I really, it was fine. But the eating for me is more of like, I need to just reset myself and go through all that.
But do you think that you and Terry drink the same amount or the same frequency?
Yes.
I find that for me too, with my husband, I feel like if he's like, hey, I can make you a margarita, I'm going to have one.
I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, my husband doesn't drink at all. So it's like, we sound like a real fun couple. We do other things. We like sex, okay? Like, he gets a blowjob. It's fine. He's happy about it.
And we're back to the blowjob.
Right. It always comes back to the blowjob with this one.
What about weed or mushrooms?
Here's the thing. In this mom kind of circle, the new sort of thing is microdosing.
Microdosing what?
Mushrooms.
Yes.
Have you done it though?
I have done it. Yes.
Interesting.
And there's no, for me at least, there's no hangover.
But
I don't
feel
bad.
Anything.
You just feel a little giggly. But
do you feel like when I smoke weed, I feel high?
No.
Do you feel high?
No, you feel literally happy and at least for me.
You feel like just like yourself.
This is what. By the way, this is what everyone says. I only tried it. We were at a dinner.
Do you not feel high?
No. We were at a dinner with friends. Right. So, I have to back up. Someone gave me some of these chocolates because I have a few friends that do not drink anymore, and they just microdose mushrooms.
Yeah,
mushroom
I think alcohol's
chocolates.
Worse than other drugs.
Right, and they say the same thing. It just makes me happy and giggly and fine and in control, and there's no I feel stoned or I feel paranoid or any of that. And so my friend gave me some, and they've been sitting there for months. Okay. And we were out to dinner with another couple a month ago, and the husband brought him out and goes, have you guys ever tried this? But we had already been drinking.
So it was a gateway, and you're like, yeah.
I took the tiny, I'm sure it did nothing, so I didn't really, I don't think experienced it. But
and what happened?
Nothing. We were just still happy and laughing, nothing. Yeah. But I would like to try it because that's what people are saying now, that it just makes you giggly and happy and there's no calories to it and it's just fun.
If you eat a pound of mushrooms, I'm sure you'd hallucinate, right?
Or just be one mushroom.
No, you could eat one mushroom. I had one mushroom and it doesn't.
Was it a micro dose of a mushroom?
Wait, do you have the chocolates or an actual mushroom?
Both. Okay. I've tried both. So I've tried the chocolates and
Is it different?
Physical. I think you can maybe control the dosage more with an actual mushroom because you see how big the mushroom. Sometimes the chocolates can be stronger or weaker depending.
Because if you bake them, it falls to the left.
Right.
I just am too in control. I can't. That's why sex is. I'm good. That's my drug. I feel I know what's gonna. I know the ending. I know what we're gonna get to. I take a drug. I'm like, oh, fucking know where we're going with this.
But here's the thing, too, now about those kinds of drugs. They're all like kind of designer drugs now. Like they're manufactured, you know, like especially marijuana and mushrooms.
Oh, it's not like when I was in high school. That's for sure. I mean, you know, we had seeds. You didn't know what you. I mean,
yes, exactly. You're like, how much am I taking?
Right. I didn't know.
It's time to upgrade your old worn-out tank tops and shorts. You need to dress accordingly as the weather gets hotter. And let's face it, you want to stay cool and stylish. And you can do that with Quince. Their pieces are easy, elevated, and make you feel just put together. Like 100% European linen shorts and dresses from $30, Luxe swimwear, Italian leather platform sandals, and so much more. I've said it before, I love their organic cotton fisherman cardigan. It's so cute. It's a year-round essential, especially on those summer nights when it gets a little breezy. It's a comfy, oversized, kind of slouchy, chic silhouette, and it's amazing. The best part? Everything with Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than what you'd find at similar brands. So by working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you luxury without the markup. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. So treat your closet to a little summer glow up with Quince. Go to quince.com/Heather for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Heather to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Heather.
How long have you guys been married?
16.
And how about you guys?
18.
So how do you keep the sex life fresh?
Like,
I feel like we have to like
that's a
almost,
good
we have
answer.
to almost have to schedule it. I mean, it's not like we're crazy. Like, I mean, I want sex more than my husband does, but I would say twice a week I'm happy with. And like if it's just consistent, like then that's all I need. For me, it's like a connection that I can't get from anyone else.
Right.
And I feel very vulnerable when I'm having sex. So it's like my closest I can get to my partner. And, you know, it's always been good. So, you know, for me, that's but I also do it because it calms me down. It makes me feel good. It makes me happy. So I almost use
There's
it
the
like
dopamine
like,
hit.
medicinally. Like I like to, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll be like, can come here. No, it's like really sexy, mean mommy. But when I'm in a bad mood, I like want to have sex. When I'm anxious, I want to have sex because it makes me feel grounded. There's a lot I need to talk to my therapist about.
What about you?
Yeah. So for us, I think it's like when we're both on a path of words of affirmation, like we're being very sweet to each other, that makes the sex more like readily available on both sides. Like, because if one of us is a little off kilter or we're not getting along, it's harder for us to come to that place where we want to connect and have sex because we're kind of like, you know, like.
Listen, I know a couple that they will have sex even when they're fighting, like pissed. Have you ever heard of that?
I would do that.
Really?
Yeah, but no one wants to have sex with me mad. Like I've never had an experience where someone's like, "You're mad," and that's hot. Like never. But I wish I would like to rah.
I feel like be passionate.
Well,
you know,
you could pretend.
Like you're so angry. You know? But my husband's like, when you're angry at me, like I can't. Like I do not want to jump on top of you. Like it is so scary. Like no. And then imagine like you're having like sex, and then like I'm mad about the sex, and he's like, "This is horrible. This is like demeaning." So no.
Yeah, I find that as the years go on, it gets better. I mean, you definitely have off periods of time, especially when you're having kids and if you're working a lot or, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Stressed, like that kind of a thing. Yeah.
Don't men want it less as they get older and like it works less?
No.
We had the Dick Doc on, and he talks about like erections. Like all he does is like make beautiful penises, right?
He's like the plastic surgeon for penises.
Yeah, and
But
makes
he
them
operates on them?
Yes. Operates on them, makes them look better, makes them bigger, and he just says that by the time guys hit 45, I think it is, it's really it starts to
a little
decrease
bit.
in the.
I'll tell you, my husband's 64, and it's good.
But he exercises a lot, right?
Yeah,
So he's
he
probably got a
does.
lot of testosterone,
Yeah.
or he's getting a testosterone shot, maybe.
No, he's
You're like, nope.
Is he always such like ready to go, like kind of a thing?
No, I'm
like,
not saying that.
Okay.
But like my husband is someone who like operates on
a high level,
figuratively, like on a very high frequency all the time.
Right.
And he works crazy hours.
Right.
And so what we have to do, is make sure that it's scheduled.
Yeah.
Because, or else he'll just.
So what do you schedule days?
Yeah. Are you morning, noon, night?
What days do you schedule?
It depends. It depends on the week. It's not like Wapner at 5.
Like Tuesday and
on
Friday.
Tuesday. It's not like that. But it's like, when we're away, I mean, first of all, hotel sex in general is
Right, the best.
So much
fun.
better.
The best.
And because you're like, liberated and you're somewhere else and it's new surroundings and all, and your kids aren't there. No one's going to, come in. No
And
one's,
somebody will clean the sheets for you.
That is so gross, Roxy.
It's
All I'm
true.
thinking about is your wet puddle
It's true.
on your
Wet puddle will be
sheets. I'm
cleaned by
never
somebody
sleeping in a
else.
bed with you.
But it's true.
It's true,
So you
right?
have all those things, but also it's like your mind can just relax
Yes.
and you're not thinking about what time do I have to be up for surgery tomorrow? What time?
Yes.
Right.
So our only challenge is frequency when we are at home and both working.
Yes.
Then we have to be very, very conscious and we'll just like be at dinner and be like, listen,
When we get home.
or this week or tomorrow or be intentional about it. So like you're prepared. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Do you have it once a week, you think? Or
oh,
more
at
than
least. Yeah.
that? I think you're a sexual. I think you're a
Yeah.
Like, I think you're probably a three-timer.
But there's definitely
2 to 3 times.
listen. There's weeks where it happens every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Not usually.
But also,
would
your
be
kids are older.
an
They're not like
aberration.
Yes. Are you like morning, noon, or night?
I like morning.
You do?
I do, and I didn't when I was younger, but
No,
I
I
do
don't.
now.
Either. I like
Why?
I
night.
can't feel anything.
I'm tired in the morning too.
It's
I'm
like
just
dead
kinda
as a doorknob.
Really?
Yeah, but after I work out, so much like testosterone and like blood flowing.
I think there's something really lovely about waking up in the morning and you're just like fresh. Like I'll go into the bathroom, freshen up a little bit, brush my teeth, like get it together, come back to bed and have like this awesome session and then fall back asleep for a little while. Because that's the best sleep ever.
Yes. After you've gotten one out,
Gotten one out. I didn't think you were going to say that today. Gotten one out. I think it's rubbed one off, but sure.
Well,
Isn't
you
that
could
a
do
guy
that too.
thing?
Gotten one out. Gotten it out.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So what about so speaking of drugs.
Okay.
So
Okay, sure.
no, because we were talking about the mushrooms and whatnot, which I really want to try.
Yes.
And now that I'm not going to be drinking every night, that's going to happen.
Do it.
We were talking before about Ozempic and like everything that's going on with that. What are your thoughts on this Hollywood craze? And now everyone you see, aren't you like,
I mean,
are you on Ozempic?
no.
You know what's really sad? I had an eating disorder. Like I was 250 pounds when I was younger, and I lost weight. And the story. And then I was like, had an eating disorder, had anorexia, bulimia until I was like 22, and now I'm just starting to like love my body again. What's really sad is like even for me, there was like a second where I was like, well, that seems like an easy way out. You know what I mean? Like now I can just go, eat what I want and just like take something, which is actually not designed for me because I don't have blood sugar issues. No. And plus, I've heard that you have to be on it for like the minute you stop it. Your husband's a doctor, right? Doesn't the weight go back on because your appetite goes back on?
I mean, one would
isn't that-
assume that if you are losing weight because you are not eating and then you start eating.
Right, you're just gonna gain. Your calories are gonna.
Wait,
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
And then how dangerous is it for people to continue taking it for like years or whatever?
What he did tell me was when I asked him about it was that these drugs have been around for so long.
Okay.
That I mean, really for so long for the appropriate people that actually need them that they're very well tested. But that doesn't negate the fact that.
But on people that don't need them,
Yeah,
though, like
that's what I'm
wondering,
for like
yeah.
3 years on people that don't need it. Like, yes, tested on people who have low sugar issue. Like, of course, diabetic. Like,
But I think they would still know like the side effects kind of thing. What I find scary about it is I think it's great if this is a true miracle for people that really, truly, obviously
lose weight
need,
for
for
health
the
reasons,
sugars.
whatever it
Obese,
is.
like
But
very,
if there's an obesity issue, if there, I mean, honestly, if it's going to help
Amazing.
someone's health, unbelievable. What I hope is, and I don't know what happens after you go off. I don't know if there's just a regular bounce back or if it's because they're just eating more. But what I would hope is that someone that's on it learns how to then regulate their eating properly
Right.
so they don't go off and go crazy and go right
Or
back
have
to where they
micronutrient
started.
deficiencies too. Like if you're just not, if it says that it makes you nauseous and you're not eating, well, how much you're like,
Are you
probably-
getting enough calories?
Right, and
Right.
also like you're probably not going to want to drink a juice that's going to make you feel like nauseous or a salad. So like, what are you? Are you just eating 2 pieces of bread because you feel nauseous and you're still losing weight because you're not eating that much food?
But you're not getting the right
You're not getting any
nutrients. Right. That's a
nutrients,
good
or like
point, too.
vitamins. If you feel nauseous, I don't want to take vitamins. So these people just like sick in other ways.
It scares me. I mean, I think women in general, and to some degree, we all have eating disorders
right.
at some stage of our lives, from the media, from friends, from whatever it is. But I remember when I was in my young 20s and out here as an actress and the whole thing, thin was very, very big.
Yes.
I mean, to the point where I remember going into clothing stores with a girlfriend of mine, and we would care so much about the number. Not even what we looked like. We wanted to squeeze into the smallest number, and no one wanted a butt. You wanted to be as
No
flat.
butt.
No
Yes,
butt.
no butt.
You wanted to be like, you wanted to disappear.
Yeah, I was like, if I had a butt, I'd feel like I needed to get rid of that.
And that's
wanted
where
to disappear.
vanity sizing came into play too.
Yes.
Where they changed the sizing because they knew that women especially wanted to see, a
size
lower
0.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just so crazy. But I forgot where I was going at that, but it was about the Ozempic thing. But I guess for me, like I'm seeing girls who I know of a fitness instructor
who's
taking
doing
it.
who's on Ozempic.
Oh.
And then she's telling her clients that they can have her body like hers, but
Yeah,
she's lying.
work out
Like, I mean,
and stuff.
she's taking something for her to look that way.
It's just like our whole world now. I mean, back then we were inundated, like I was saying when I was in my 20s, like we were inundated with images. But it was so stressful. I think was what I was about to get to. It was so stressful, and we just didn't eat at all. I smoked cigarettes, and I drank Diet Coke and maybe a scooped out
Diet
bagel.
Cokes and rice cakes.
Right.
Yeah,
Rice
and
cakes.
that was
Stage
it.
rice cakes.
That was it, and that's all you ate. And I hate to think of like people getting back into that culture, but here we are again with the body images and the everything, and with social media,
Right.
telling us how we're supposed to look.
Well, it's really hard to open up social media and in the media and on TV and everything,
filters.
and also not to judge when you see somebody who has had like a very dramatic weight loss. And I think we know some of these people because they're all in some circles that we know. It's hard to not immediately go to that and be like, oh, that's probably Ozempic. You know, like that looks like Ozempic face. That looks like an Ozempic body. You know,
What is Ozempic face?
I think it starts to hang.
Yeah,
right,
is that
right
just
here.
because you're losing weight?
I think it's a bit of both. I think
Yeah, I
it's you're
think
losing weight,
it
and then it
almost
also like
ages it a
ages
little
the
bit.
skin.
Yeah.
It's almost like takes the moisture out of it.
Yeah.
Like I just look haggy. So I'm like, I guess it's my butt. I always say to my husband now, because I'm like, late 30s, I'm like thinking it's my butt or my face at this point. Like honestly, like it's probably better for me to have a couple more. I'm probably 6 pounds heavier than I used to be, and that's probably better because my face looks younger. And I've never had like Botox or anything like that. Although I'm supposed to go in tomorrow, I'm really scared. And I'm like,
No big deal.
is it? What about Dysport? Is Dysport better?
I never did Dysport.
What's the difference?
I think they're basically the same.
Same
I think
thing.
I think Dysport.
Does it
maybe
ever make you
lasts
feel
longer.
heavy?
Yes.
I don't want to feel heavy. I've been
Tell them to go light.
Okay, but like how light? How many units?
I don't know.
How many units do you do?
I don't. You know what? I've been getting it done for seriously.
You
for
just
so
don't
many
know.
years. No, it has an accumulative effect. I get it done now like once every 2 years.
Oh, you do? You can
gotcha.
wait that long?
I just had it done maybe 3 months ago, which is why I feel like a little frozen right now.
Yeah.
Even though I can still move everything, but I think the time I had it done, I was probably 2 years before.
Right.
That's great though.
Yeah.
It's cumulative. I mean,
So if you could choose 2 things that you think are like beauty hacks that aren't like drink water, but like Botox,
By the way,
sleep and
triggers-
drink
yeah,
water, I'm like, yeah.
sleep and drink water.
especially
really.
when I know.
Yeah.
Like no, for real. Someone's had a facelift, and they're like on a magazine. They're like, "What do you do to stay so young?" Oh, I drink water.
Yeah.
Sleep a lot.
So what are the 2 things that you think like, and surgery is fine, whatever, that is the biggest difference on a female face or body?
Yeah.
So I have not done surgery,
Right.
but I'm certainly not against it. It pays our mortgage, but and you never know, and I could get there. But I'm really like I'm very into the non-surgical things. I think Botox
is great.
amazing.
Okay.
I really do. I think Botox is amazing, and I think Sculptra is amazing.
And that's fillers.
So it's not fillers like collagen are fillers, the Restylane, those are fillers.
Right.
Sculptra it's like this agent that they put in you that it regrows your own collagen. So it was developed for AIDS patients who get very skeletal.
Right.
And they lose facial fat.
Right.
So they inject in you kind of like a fertilizer and it regrows your own collagen. So you don't look like filled. Like I'm lucky to have nice cheekbones, but when I get thin, my temples and like the hollows
this, like, sag-
under
right.
under the cheekbones.
My glasses on, literally look at you.
Yeah, have a look. This and this, those can get really sunken.
Right.
So that can revive you. And you never think about your temples, but like when you bring them back out, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And he'll put some also in the back of my jaw, which he'll just pull.
This is my issue right now. I can't
what about for
stand when your
jowls?
neck
Like, what?
starts to sag.
That I don't have the
You don't
jowl
have
thing,
them.
but I don't like the neck. And what I did for that, I don't know if you follow me, but I just did a CO2. It's called a CO2 mixto fractionated laser. So I'm scared of everything, to be honest with you, but I did it, and I told her to go very light,
Okay.
which
And you
she
peeled?
did, and I peeled.
How long?
It took the whole thing was like 8-9 days.
Okay.
Was it very painful? Because the CO2 laser couldn't be really
The
painful.
actual procedure I did not find painful. I mean, honestly, they give you drugs and numbing cream. I was fine.
Yeah.
Had a Valium. Was actually a spa day.
You're like,
Nice
it's
glass of
great.
champagne.
You know.
1950s
Mushroom.
cocktail.
Yeah.
Microdosing. So that wasn't so bad. But like the couple of days afterwards, it was kind of felt like I was on fire.
Right.
That was not comfortable.
Right.
But then it was fine.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. I do BBL, broadband light.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's really incredible. If you see, like, I've done 10 sessions. I'm really 53. So broadband light is like this really intense light that like damages below the surface. So your body, like, again, like, you know, rejuvenates and like BBL, broadband light. And I'm going to show you off camera, I'm going to show you my neck before and after, and it has tightened it exponentially.
Are you like, is this an advertisement?
No. No, but it could be. Could you pay me for it? We're in a recession, so if you've got any brands, throw them my way.
No, but that's what I would think. So you like that. What else do you guys like for
So I'm
anti-aging?
on the verge of doing CO2 as well.
Okay.
I just have to find the time to like
Go do
do
the
the
mini
downtime.
CO2.
Do it with PRP.
Oh.
So this is what she did. She did.
Okay.
She took my blood, spun
Right.
it, PRP, and she injected it. Honestly, my under eyes are good,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
she injected it under my eyes because she
Okay.
said it rejuvenates and helps the skin, and then put it all over me.
Oh.
And face, neck, and neck. Did
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Did the whole thing. Okay, do you feel like that helped with the recovery time as well?
need resurfacing.
Babe, I need resurfacing.
You don't.
Yes.
We just need- you don't.
And the
You don't have-
hyperpigmentation.
It helps with those things. I had been to the dermatologist and I had like a few little things, whatever,
Yes.
and they were like
Microneedling.
burn them off.
No?
Yeah.
And then the nurse was like, just get resurface. Resurfacing's good.
Because
Yeah.
it takes off, I guess, like what the
Microneedling's
first
a
few years.
resurface a little
Yeah,
bit.
microneedling is
Done
good.
that about 10 times.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
It's similar,
It's just more
right?
intense.
Right. I feel like
Right.
it's the same. But what about Moxie or Morpheus?
Oh, Morpheus.
Morpheus 8.
I did the Morpheus 8 also. So maybe 10, 15 years ago, I did a Fraxel laser. It ruined my skin for a year, and I got terrified to do anything else.
Okay.
So I didn't do anything.
Okay.
But then in the last 8 months, I'm looking at the neck. I'm looking at the thing. I just turned 54, and I'm like, I've got to like do something. So I did 3 sessions of Morpheus 8.
Okay.
And I have to say, like, I think it really
Heightened.
Yeah. I mean, especially the neck area, which I was really, I mean, look, it's not going to look 25.
Right.
But I thought it did a nice job. And I have to say, I thought that the CO2 laser I just
Okay.
did also did nice. I think, and I also, like, I have Botox injected into my neck.
Does it help, do you think?
Yes.
And do you feel like you like? Is there any? I'm always about the feeling.
No.
So you wouldn't
You're
even
fine.
know it was like
No,
doing anything.
You're totally fine.
You know, a lot of friends have been getting the blasphemy. It's the eye surgery. I can't think of the
Right.
name of it. Blasphemy or
wait,
whatever. It's,
yes.
Yeah.
A blepharoplasty.
Blepharoplasty. Yes.
She botched the name.
Yeah,
Let's hope they don't botch your face. They're like, we'll just give her the blepharoplasty.
But that's like, I mean, maybe like somewhere down the line, there's just this part under my eye that bothers me a little
This
bit.
is my feeling. Whatever makes you happy
Yeah.
is what you should do. You have to be able to look in the mirror and go, I'm happy, I'm good. Although, to be totally honest, I was at this event yesterday. And so it was at this house, and I'm walking through the house, and there was like everything was set up in different rooms. So you had to like walk through one of the bathrooms at one point to get to the next room. And I caught sight of myself in the mirror. It was no bueno. Like the lighting, the eyes, the ring,
like overhead lighting.
It was all kinds of bad. And I looked in the mirror and I went, oh, wow, I'm just going to look that way.
Yeah.
And I turned
I don't look in the
other-
mirror anymore.
No.
I'm just like,
I'm
no.
so good at doing my makeup that I can not look
Yeah,
in the
I just
Zoom.
don't even wear my glasses. I'm like, I can't really see
Neither.
myself.
Neither. I just
It's
stand
fine.
away. I'm sure it's close enough.
I think it's cute.
It's all good.
Whatever.
Do you put filters on your pictures?
I I mean, if I feel like I'm having not a great looking day, I will. I'm like,
I'll do stories on and off. It depends.
Filter,
I won't
yeah.
do them like if I do 10 stories, I'll have half on, half off.
Okay.
Because I feel like people actually don't love seeing filters on people. It's so obvious. Like
Yeah.
when I see it, it actually makes me go, "Whoa." So like I hate it when I do it on myself, but I do it. But I don't do it on my feed posts.
if the picture's far away enough, like lately we've been posting some full body things.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like too, like I won't filter that because it's kind of like far away.
So we
you know?
don't show like what, I went to the spa and everyone was naked. One of those.
What, Korean? Did you go to the Korean spa?
my
The,
God,
the
the-
Olympic spa?
Yes, it's my favorite.
Oh my God, it's so weird that you're saying this
My
because
God.
I used to go there years ago.
Oh.
And apparently they just redid the joint.
It's so like it's firstly it's not like Korean spa I pay like $90, $200 for like a treatment, which is like doubled what it is.
Is
But,
it
like,
the same place though?
Yes.
Can I just tell you something? This place used to be crazy. You would walk through, you'd have to walk around naked. They'd give you basically a washcloth to
put on
walk
your whole
around.
And they
to
wouldn't
cover your
let
whole
you
body.
like wear
You'd
a
have to
towel. They're like,
choose.
no, take it off.
Take
You're
it
like,
off,
oh
take
my
it off.
gosh.
And then you'd lay there and they would take out some kind of crazy loofah thing and they would scrub each inch till they almost hit bone.
Oh my
and then
God.
they'd move on.
Yeah,
But you
I'm
walked
like,
out
I'm
of
bleeding.
there. Oh,
glowing.
glowing. So good. But it's the same place, right?
Same place.
I was
and
just
saw some
looking it up.
actresses there, and I was like, oh my God, now I know what you look like naked. And it's just like
See, that's why I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But when I
See,
first
because
started, your
you
body's
never
amazing
know
though. When I
who's
first
there, yeah.
started, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. And then I saw everyone was like full naked and all different sizes. And I was like, I look good. And then by the end of it, I was like, I look good.
maybe I
I
should
look
go
good.
there.
And like everything was out, and I was like, my legs are up here, and my legs are up here. I was like, this is good. But in the beginning, I was like, no, I was like super.
How did we just get onto that? You were talking about something else.
That's what happens.
It always
Totally
comes
gone.
back to being naked with this one, you know?
Naked and blowjobs.
Oh my gosh.
Let's Talk is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedies, celebrity interviews, news, or even motivational speakers, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue, right? And guess what? Now you can call the shots on your auto insurance too. Enter the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. The Name Your Price tool puts you in charge of your auto insurance by working just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, then they'll show you a variety of coverages that fit within your budget, giving you options. Now that's something you want to press play on all day. It's easy to start a quote, and you'll be able to choose the best option for you fast. It's just one of the many ways you can save with Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com to try the Name Your Price tool for yourself and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Companies and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Let me ask you this. How do you guys feel about staying relevant? So I've morphed my podcast recently. We're evolving the podcast. I changed the name. I have different thoughts about who I'm speaking with and what we're talking about. And I'm not saying it all has to be very heavy, but it's a little more intentional in what I think, my audience wants to hear and what we're talking about and what's important to all of us right now at this second. But I look at all the things that I do because I know both of you do so many different things. How do you feel about like keeping up with the latest, app or thing or whatever?
I mean, I feel like it's sort of being content creators and being a content creator and working in the Hollywood space and on the red carpet, at least for me, I sort of have to stay in the know with those things just to keep the business going.
Does it give you anxiety?
It does. Yeah. It does because all of a sudden there's a new app that's out because, TikTok will get Lemonade, right? Because TikTok might get canceled.
Lemonade's the new app.
The new app.
Lemonade?
I shouldn't have said it because now we can't be the first on it. All your listeners are
on it now. They're like Lemonade.
I'm writing it down as if I know how to do anything.
Lemonade, yeah.
But I think it's part when you're in this sort of especially the content creation space, you kind of have to be on it, and I think there is a part of the business where you have to stay relevant in some way. It's kind of the name of the game. It is. It's part of the name of the game.
So I launched this network on this. Have you heard of Fireside?
Yes.
So Fireside is Mark Cuban and Fallon Fatimy's new platform. It's the first interactive. By the way, I want to have you guys on. It'll be fun.
Yes,
Great.
I want to be. If I can meet Mark Cuban, my whole dreams would be realized. I'm so obsessed. I'm so obsessed with him.
He's adorable.
I just want to say
so
hi.
cute.
He's the nicest guy.
my
By the way, he's
God.
so down to earth and he tells dad jokes. I'm just telling
Oh
you.
my God, I'm obsessed.
Anyway, so they asked me to do the first lifestyle network on this platform. which was great. And it's been like a year in the making. And we just started the first show. And we've all done these kinds of things for so many years. Talking is not a problem.
Right.
But it was just interesting figuring out this new way of communicating and trying to bring people up on stage and, just using the technology was very intense. I was exhausted after it, exhausted. Yeah. And not from doing the show, just from
it's a lot. Look, I think it's part of our job. Like for me, I've got to make a ton of money and stay with my kids. And I feel like I make more money in content creation than acting. And I've been acting for 22 years. I make more doing a fun post for Evian than I do being on Pretty Little Liars. That's wild to me that you're able to monetize it. So, there's Elizabeth Gilbert has this book called Big Magic, and she says every job has a shit sandwich. And every job, no matter what it is, your husband has to get up super early and he has to deal with things that we don't have to deal with because we're content creators and he doesn't have to deal with because he's not. But every job has a shit sandwich, and it just depends what you're willing to put up with or deal with or get anxiety over based on what you do. And people put down influencers all the time and content creators. I'm like, it's a fucking full-time job. It's 5 to 9. It's not 9 to 5. It is a lot of work. And if you don't think it is, then do it. It is a lot of work. I write my content. I edit my content. I film my content. I reply to everyone. I'm constantly brand deals. I had a brand deal 3 videos. It took me a week and a half to shoot it, because it's so
that's why
much
you get
work. And that's why you get paid for it. And it's a full-time job. And is there such thing as a shit sandwich? Absolutely. I wake up, I'm anxious every day because for me, there's no consistency. Sometimes I'll make so much money in a month and then I won't for 2 months. There's not that constant.
You don't get a salary.
No. And it's up to you
Hard
and what
to
you
plan.
post and your people and
your life,
I love
your mortgage, your children, school, camp.
Yeah.
What can you do?
And it's also brands right now, we're in this mini recession, they're tightening their belt. So how does that play out in our world and the ad deals and all that kind of stuff? But I feel like it is a difficult business, but I'm really grateful that it's a business that I can do on the side while I build the acting part because it gives me the flexibility. So I eat that shit sandwich, and I know that it's a shit sandwich, and I really believe in labeling things and going this sucks, I'm so anxious, but this is my shit sandwich that I'm eating because I get to pick up my kid at 4 every day.
Right. I so agree with that. And for me, when I first had my kids, we didn't have any of this. Yeah. It was very isolating, very lonely. And unless you were sitting around waiting for your agent to call you and drive, you were just home with your kids, there was no way to create content. I am so fully grateful now that I get to do all these things. And I've done that same thing too, which I've tried to take jobs or create jobs for myself that I can do within the parameters of them being in school. What's interesting for me right now is that with 2 kids in college, my third is 16. She's a sophomore in high school and driving.
Right.
And then my youngest is 12, so he's not that far off. Right. I sort of see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so I'm now thinking, where am I funneling all this to? Because now for me, I think content, and I also think as your kids get older, content creation also takes on a different role in your life. I'm right now, which is part of the evolution of the podcast, but I also feel like I want to help people.
Same. That's where I'm at.
How can we serve?
How can we serve?
And when you serve
and
the community, you make money. Not that it's about that, but sometimes it has to be. But
it's okay to want to make money. You know what? I don't feel like that's. I know why you have to say that because I say that too.
It's women have to say that.
Right.
Yes. No man goes and goes, I'm going to make money, and they go,
guilty.
Women are like, because I love making money.
Yeah,
it actually gives me such a sense of purpose.
I like making money too. I just sold my house.
Yeah.
I designed that house.
Yep. Exactly.
By the way, I made that money. I'm excited about that. That was good. But you're not allowed to say that.
Taboo. It's still a thing about just don't make too much, or don't say you
or don't talk about it.
Or don't say you love it.
No, but it's okay to serve and make money. One of the reasons I went back to Housewives was because I thought I could use that platform to start conversations in other people's families about having children that are gay or what our family looks like, and and maybe start those conversations. And we've been able to do that.
Right, it helps people. Yeah.
And if you can help one person, you've done an amazing job. But think about the platforms that we all have. So it's I completely agree with that. The gratitude of all of that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's pressure to stay relevant? Like, do you also kind of feel a little bit of...
No, you know what I worry about, honestly? I worry that it would be very easy for me to sink into an abyss of nothingness.
Yeah.
I really do. And no one would care. And that's like, I remember.
Because you don't need to work.
Right.
Do you? No.
But no.
You want to.
I love
it.
I love it. It feeds
working.
you.
And I'm creative and all these things. But, I remember driving to auditions when I was younger, and I have anxiety like you, Tammin. And I remember driving to auditions and being like, oh, I could just turn around. No one would know. No one would care, whatever. But you don't. You go and you get there and you do it and you do the thing. But the one thing I don't worry like, oh, I need to stay relevant. I worry that on those days that we all have that are dark and sucky, that I will go, oh, forget it. It's too hard. I'm just going to sink. I'm happy. I've got a great family. And then I go through those moments and then I go, but you know what? I can help people and I'm going to continue to do that. And if that's my big goal. And if other things come from it, great.
I think it's hard to be, the movie that I did was really hard for me, even though it's like a funny movie, because the character just wants to be seen because she feels invisible. And so my acting coach was like, if you do this well, it's going to cost you. Like, you're going to come home every night and like feel exhausted. And I did, because I feel that. I think a lot of women feel that about like, and especially aging and NLA or whatever, especially in this business, that like, when am I going to be invisible? Like, when is it going to end? And it's weird that we have such a hustle culture here that like we have to be in the public eye and relevant all the time because that means that we're enough. When like there are people in Europe, I mean, they feel enough just like by dancing in the street and drinking wine and being with their family. It's like, I think it's more ingrained in the women here and in America more than anywhere else. Like Amsterdam is like, they say Amsterdam's like the happiest place in the entire world, and it's a very socialist country. And it's like, everyone's just, it's a community, and they're not like, I'm not saying, look, I love being wanting to be successful, trying to be successful. That drives me. But the problem with that is when I'm not, or perceived that I'm not, I don't like myself. When I'm not in the press, or I'm not, constantly hustling or getting deals, or like someone loving my movie, then I don't feel like I'm worth anything. And that's a big thing that I'm dealing with my therapist, of like, if it's not about looks and work, then what have I?
Right.
Like, what do I have left?
That's why it's hard to do, but that's why it's so important to compartmentalize your life. Because my feeling is that my theory always is that everyone wants to be famous.
Right.
On some level.
Or just known, or like make a mark.
Right.
But like you're saying, being seen.
Right.
She makes the best casserole in town. She throws the best party.
Right.
Like everyone wants to be famous, to be seen and heard and felt. But what I've come to realize, I'm older than you, what I've come to realize is that those things are very separate. And what I know about being famous, and let's just call it that, but you understand what I'm saying, is so I was just on this trip with Terry and only two of the kids, right? But we were there, and there were such incredible moments. There wasn't a minute I thought about my career.
I know.
There wasn't a minute I thought about I'm walking into a restaurant and who knows me or who doesn't know me. There was not one, except for when I had to deal with things like by email, whatever, and you had to take those moments. But other than that, so present, at 100% present the entire time, because that's truly what your life is about. And when you can get to that place and really compartmentalize and separate the rest, it becomes much easier.
Right.
So you were able to kind of put your phone down, because that's hard for me too, even on a vacation or on a trip.
You have to be intentional about it. First of all, this is what I always do before a trip. I clean out my email box. It says no emails. Clear.
Oh, wow.
And then I will allow myself.
Mine's like 30,000, something scary.
Yeah, how many are yours?
145,229.
That's crazy.
I don't even want to
Mine
look.
are bad right at this second, but there's only 24.
Oh, my God.
Because you know what? It's like clutter. I don't like clutter.
Right.
It gives me anxiety. I'm someone who would clean my desk before I'd study, clean the room. Like I need the right environment and all that. So if there's too much clutter in my brain or on my phone or whatever, I can't relax. And so what's helped me is I'm very organized. I know you are too. But I'm hyper organized.
I'm not so organized.
You're not organized?
No.
Okay, well,
I am, but I'm not. Like, I'm a little messy.
Okay.
But I have a husband who's very clean, so it works.
So you balance.
You know what I mean? But I'm organized. Like, I'll never miss something. Like, I hate being late. Like, that gives me such anxiety, even coming here because something else was late. Like, I had poo pain. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to poo my pants. I really can't be late. That's just because I was an actress. Like, I can't be late on set.
Right.
I will never let you down. And I'm organized, like, for stuff like this, but am I organized to pack my suitcase? I don't know.
I'm hyper organized.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everyone has to be that way, but this is my way. Because when you can't control everything, which we can't, we control what we can.
Right.
So I can't control the way, what happens to my kids in the world, but I can control feeding them well and making sure they're safe in as many ways as I can, right? I can't control what's going to go on in my career, but I can control how I'm putting myself out in the world and how I'm intentionally doing things. So I'm controlling the things I can control, and it really relaxes the brain. I also have decided
and I'm on drugs for it.
And I've been trying to get to do ketamine, which I wanted to talk to you about. I know we're running out of
I'll
time.
do ketamine.
Special K?
Well, this is what I heard. I have not done it.
Okay.
Like, just
but I
for
had
the
it
day?
scheduled.
Or every day?
No, not every day.
I don't know much about ketamine.
No,
as you
there's
can
like
tell.
a thing, like, some people go to ayahuasca, some people do mushroom therapy, and then there's a ketamine therapy. So people are saying that you can go do a few sessions of ketamine therapy with a doctor, like,
And it'll help you. Right.
and it will sort of reset your anxiety, like this is a thing.
Okay.
So I had set the whole thing up to do it.
And we're here.
And I was so busy and so anxious about everything that was going on. I'm like, I don't have time to sit there and have this anti-anxiety, perhaps lessening drug put in me. I don't have time for that.
Why do you think you're anxious?
Oh,
where does it come down?
It's biology.
Some of it. I think some of it's genetic, of course. But I also think that it's environment, it's trauma. It's like there's a few things that make up our anxiety bucket.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just genetic. But like, is there anything else that you can put your finger on? Is it living here? I think
that it's probably a little bit of everything. Of course. I mean, everyone, of course, I've got 4 kids. I've got a husband. I've got a career I'd like to reignite in ways that hasn't been reignited in years. We're figuring out where we're going to live and what we're going to do. I have a parent that's aging. There's all of it, but that's all under buckets that I would call regular life. Normal stress and anxiety. And I think it's normal for people to have anxiety. People that have none, I don't understand at all. But I think my unnatural anxiety is biological.
Right.
And so I'm always looking for ways. But I will tell you, for me, exercise, which
it's life-changing.
I wish someone had given me that gift 30 years ago because I've only been doing it for like 15 years. But it has been life-changing for me.
Oh, yeah. L-theanine is life-changing, too.
I take that, too.
Yeah.
At night. L-theanine.
I take it during the day,
valerian, and something called Calm that you could put in.
GABA's
great. Yeah, that's good.
GABA, yeah.
All right. We're out of time. I could talk to you guys for like hours. I love you both so much. Tell everyone how to find you on social, how to find the pod, promote the movie again, anything else.
Just promote yourself.
All of it.
Do it.
All of it. Well, you can find us on the podcast. We're Women on Top anywhere you get your podcast.
Anywhere.
And we're Women on Top official on Instagram and TikTok. And Women on Top
podcast on Facebook. Yeah, I always get that one wrong.
Yes.
And I'm Tammin Sursok. I create really funny content. I don't know. Do we follow each other? I think we do. I
follow
follow you.
so.
I do follow you.
Yeah.
I try to make people laugh, feel less alone. And I have a movie called Blood, Sweat, and Cheer. It's me, literally with a cheerleading outfit on. I know. You're welcome. Look, did you see that?
Dance.
Did you see
it's
this?
so
Look,
good.
did you see? Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's me.
So good.
It's really good.
Oh my God.
But look, like my character goes crazy. Yeah, she lost her mind.
it.
She's lost her mind.
She lost her mind. And Tammin Sursok on all socials, TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
I do.
Good.
Yes.
This is so me. I was locked out of TikTok for like a year and a half.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I don't know how to work the phone. I'm back in.
Wait,
I'm back.
you were out because you didn't know how to work the phone or because you did something?
No. They didn't kick me off.
Oh, you just didn't?
I couldn't. My password wasn't working. It was.
It's really scary.
I know it is. It is.
really scary.
Yeah, so we have to follow you on TikTok. By the way,
Follow me on TikTok.
I'm Red Carpet Roxy on Instagram and all the socials, except for TikTok, Roxy Manning 01, and it's Roxy with a Y.
Okay, there we go. Thank you guys so much for being here.
guys.
And thank all of you for being here. We will see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode of Let's Talk.